As the world pauses today to mark 80 years since the D-Day invasion that helped turn the tide in favor of the Allies in World War II, we honor the men from Western New York who stormed the beaches of Normandy all those decades ago. And that includes 5 from the City of Tonawanda, whose stories have been shared with international audiences. The Nyland brothers, who inspired the film Saving Private Ryan, and Sergeant Skip Muck, who was portrayed in HBO's Band of Brothers miniseries. Well, just about an hour ago, folks gathered at the City of Tonawanda's All Heroes Memorial to lay a wreath honoring their sacrifice and the bravery of others as we mark this D-Day anniversary. And joining me live now to talk about it is City of Tonawanda Mayor John White. Mayor, we so appreciate you coming on, and let me just first ask you about the pride in your community with these 5 men being from there, in addition to the other war heroes from the city.
You know, Michael, thanks for having me on. It's an unbelievable thing. This monument behind me was erected for that reason, because they're from Tonawanda. And I originally was just going to lay a wreath in remembrance of the day, and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And then when Preston Nyland, he called me and he said, "Mayor, I'll be there." And I said, "Oh my God," it just got bigger and bigger. And it was just our way to say, you know, thank you. And it's just huge to remember. Remember the people, the men and women that died on that day as we invaded Normandy, and the fact that it freed us from a ugly person who was trying to take over the world. And it's just a huge day in history, huge day.
For folks who haven't been to that memorial, tell us a little more about it and how, what a special place it is. It's beautiful, I've seen it, and especially on this day to go there and, as you said, to sort of just thank the people before us who made such a difference 80 years ago.
Well, that's what it is. I don't want to see it ever go away. We should always remember. We should never forget. And I think that's the key that we want to remember and tell to our kids, don't ever forget. And that's why the monument behind me was placed here, so we do never forget and we always remember. The Nyland family, first of all, they're all from Tonawanda. And as we had Preston here, you know, he said he never knew his 2 brothers, but he knew of his other ones because he was much younger at that time. But they named him after his other one, and it's just an amazing story. When you watch either the Band of Brothers or watch Saving Private Ryan, what it was about was just about the soldiers. It was about the time of that time of the decade where people fought for your rights and to stand up, and what it was like to do that. And that's what today was. We had a good turnout. I was excited for the City of Tonawanda to have that turnout. We had police, fire truck, the hook and ladder was hooked up. We called the Vietnam veterans. Paul Piotrowski had the veteran guards here. We had some shots off with the rifles. In remembrance of the day, we had taps being played. And then we had Preston come up, Nyland, and talk. You couldn't beat it. I had some politicians here. And again, it was just, it wasn't about anybody. It was about the war, it was about D-Day, and it was about the people who lost their lives for this country.
Absolutely. Just a remarkable event there. Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks, of course, from Saving Private Ryan, were actually in Normandy today as part of the ceremonies there. And to think that story has roots with a family right here in Western New York, in addition to Band of Brothers, is really remarkable. And such a beautiful event there. Mayor John White, thanks for sticking around after the event and speaking with us about it. We'll be showing folks more of that in our later newscasts. Thank you, sir.
Michael, you're welcome.